On an April day, while seeking treatment for a sports injury, Trish was diagnosed with leukemia. Through daily medication, she was feeling well again. Then, 8 months later, everything changed.
So, my 40th birthday. I was doing everything at 40 that I wanted to do. I was teaching school. Health-wise, I was in tip-top shape. Married to a great man, I have a great family. Everything was wonderful. Then, I started to just not feel right. I started to get nauseous, and within 2 or 3 weeks, my eyes just started to turn yellow.
The drug that was saving her from leukemia was destroying her liver. Quickly, she found herself in a fight for her life.
The local doctor determined that it was, in fact, liver failure. So they sent me by ambulance to Columbia Presbyterian. My family moved down to the city and stayed with relatives for days while I remained in a coma.
1,000 miles away in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Susan and Ron Miller had a happy family with 3 lovely daughters. Their oldest daughter, Laura, had just started high school and was adjusting well when tragedy struck.
Laura was really an amazing kid. She was just finishing up her freshman year in high school. Laura loved fashion. Her goal in life was to become editor-in-chief of a fashion magazine. Laura had had headaches for just about 3 weeks, and the doctor had just said, take a couple of aspirin and, call me in the morning kind of thing. And so the headaches were not something that we were especially concerned about. And on Wednesday morning, she woke up and Laura told me, "Why do you have 4 eyes, Mom?" And then I knew something was very serious. And then she had a seizure, and that's when we called 911. She was awake the entire time in the ambulance, and in fact, when she arrived at the emergency room, she told me that the ambulance drivers had done such a good job that she wanted to write them a thank you note. Later that afternoon, Laura received an MRI, and the doctor told us that the tumor could be taken out on Friday, 2 days later. And then Laura's headaches became more painful. Everyone tried to do the best they could to alleviate the pain, and then it got so bad that she stopped breathing. The next thing we knew, we went up to the ICU unit where she was attached to every possible wire and machine that you could think of. And immediately I knew something was terribly wrong. I knew that this was not something that she could survive.
Laura was declared brain dead on Saturday evening. The next morning in New York, Trish, who had been in a coma for 10 days, was dying. Her husband came to say goodbye.
My husband and I believed very strongly in organ donation, but it was a very abstract concept at the time. Our 2 daughters told us, "You have to do this, Mom and Dad. You have to do this."
I wasn't that educated on organ donation, so I wasn't sure how organ donation worked, but I knew that the idea was that somebody else could be living, and that was enough to really push our parents. Rachel and I really, really, really knew the importance and knew that this was bigger than ourselves, that organ donation is bigger than us. It's something that it's very abstract. You just know that an organ is being given to somebody else somewhere in the world.
If one person can live from somebody else dying, there's no reason not to.
As Trish's family said goodbye, suddenly they received word that a liver had become available from a 14-year-old in Wisconsin. And on the day of Laura's funeral, Trish woke up.
When I woke up, I looked right at my mom. I felt different. I said, "Mom, what happened?" She said, "You got a new liver." I said, "I didn't even ask for one." She said, "Honey, you really needed one."
And now Trish is a healthy, vibrant person who owns her own gym, is a special ed teacher for kindergartners and first graders. And we know that to her family and to herself, this was a gift of life. It was a miracle.
I started thinking about what I could write to this person and what I wanted to tell them about myself and how I could possibly thank a person for such a gift. Where do you even start? Every morning I wake up and I say thank you for my life, for each and every precious moment that I have here, for my family, for my health, for everything that you've given me. Thank you.
Please join the Organ Donor Registry. It is so important. Sign the back of your driver's license. Talk with your family and friends to tell them what you want to do in case something horrible happens. No one wants to think about their mortality. No one thinks that they're going to be an organ donor. But things happen, and the stories on the news are not just stories on the news. They happen to real people, and they could happen to yourself.
There are so many people out there in the world that need an organ just like me. I am one in a million miracles that are waiting to happen. It's a wonderful gift that you can give and be a part of. But you need to take that step. Everyone should take that step.
I encourage you to sign up to be an organ donor today because you can save a life.
You can save a life like Trish's by joining the Wisconsin Organ Donor Registry. Say yes, I will, and become an organ donor. Learn more and register on our website, and support our education and awareness efforts to encourage more people to join the registry.